Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a Texas congressman and members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and a Texas Democrat delegation visited Eagle Pass Tuesday.
Authorities have arrested the cousin of the Uvalde shooter. He's accused of making threats to a school.
And the city of Victoria announced that Stage 3 water restrictions now in place.
Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, we did it again, 102. We're going to start taking a poll as to how many 100-degree days we've gotten so far this season and what the record is. We'll have all that coming up in a moment.
ERCOT has extended its weather watch through Friday because of these high temperatures. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Congressman Joaquin Castro and members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and Texas Democrat delegation visited Eagle Pass today. That's
right. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick in studio with more.
That's right, guys. Castro's office will visit Operation Lone Star with local authorities. They aim to investigate the floating barrier's impact in the Rio Grande. The Justice Department has sued Governor Greg Abbott over the buoys on the river. The lawsuit wants to force Texas to remove the 1,000-foot barrier. The Texas Tribune reports at least one person was found dead on the barrier's south side. In a press release Monday, Castro had this to say: Governor Abbott's barbaric operations in Eagle Pass are intentionally designed to injure, maim, and kill migrants and rob them of their legal right to seek asylum in the U.S. James, Karina, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Here's your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, has efforts by Operation Lone Star helped with immigration and the border crisis? Yes or no? We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 6.
This morning, Victoria police got a call about an indecent exposure in the 1600 block of Sam Houston Drive. The man has long hair. He's the suspect, and he was wearing a long sleeved blue shirt and blue jeans. He was last seen walking southbound on Sam Houston Drive from that area. You can call Victoria Crime Stoppers, where callers can remain anonymous.
Also today around 1:45 p.m. authorities were on the scene of a crash on North Navarro. The crash happened between Guy Grant and Huvar Street. 3 vehicles were involved. Authorities said 3 people were checked by EMS for precautionary measures. Now, Edna hosted a back-to-school bash to make sure every student is prepared for the new school year.
Yeah, it's already back to school time. 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel traveled to Edna for the excitement and has this story.
A week before the first day of school, Edna Elementary welcomed their new and returning Cowboys to ease any anxiety students might have about starting a new school year. Michelle Trujillo is going into 2nd grade and was a bit nervous about a new school year. How do you feel about going into 2nd grade?
Kind of nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm just scared that people are going to look at me. Then,
no,
yeah.
Hopefully you'll make friends and everyone's nice, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the goal of the Edna ISD Back to School rally, to give students a chance to reconnect with new friends and old and meet the teachers, all in a fun environment to ensure every student is equipped with the tools they need to succeed.
Well, the purpose of today is to make sure that our students have everything they need when they come. And so, you know, sometimes are difficult sometimes. We have great resources that volunteer.
Anthony Zavala is going into the 4th grade and is excited to return.
No, I'm excited.
And why are you excited to go into 4th grade?
It's because I thought I would never pass my STAR test, but I did, so I was so excited and nervous.
Well, good job, man.
Well, the thing that I want to be when I'm adult is state trooper right there.
He's also a big fan of the news. Thanks for watching, Anthony.
I like 25 News Now because I want to know all the news that we need to know. Because like the one that talks about the weather that's happening.
Yeah.
I love to learn that because like it's the hottest heat dome ever in this July.
Yeah.
And so it's too hot. It's past 110.
Students could take advantage of free vision screenings, check their immunization records. The Edna Dentistry was there, the YMCA, Healthy Texas Youth Ambassadors, and local first responders, each student leaving with a free backpack full of school supplies. They even had therapy dogs. 1st grader Willow's favorite part of the day.
Dogs.
The dogs, they're nice. Willow's mom, Destiny, echoing her daughter's excitement for the new school year.
She was very excited to come here ready. She's ready for school, to see her friends and the teachers and stuff and all the activities out here.
They do have a school resource officer as well as an employee guardianship program, an added level of safety and security for the students at Edna.
Our first priority is the safety of our students. And so that's what we do. You know, when they walk in that door, they become our responsibility, and we take that very seriously.
And with many schools dealing with a shortage of teachers, you won't find that in Edna because they have a high retention rate. Principal Parsons says they're ready for another great year for all the Cowboys.
I'm excited, very excited. I'm glad to see the students. All of our admin team have been really working hard, and it's all about the students, and our staff, and you know, just making everything where it's a fun place to be and learning happens.
So here's to an awesome school year. Good luck, Cowboys.
And good luck, students. You know, with the continued dry weather, water usage restrictions remain in place. Residents must cut back on water use. Unlike past water restrictions the city has had, leaders say this time the circumstances are more serious.
Last year we had some rains locally. We didn't have a lot of rain in the Guadalupe Basin, so the river was low. But this year we've kind of got a double whammy. We've got no rains upstream and no rains here in Victoria, so our demand is much higher.
Under Stage 3, even-numbered home addresses can water their lawns on Sundays and Thursdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Odd-numbered home addresses can water their lawns on Wednesdays and Saturdays at those same times. All right, first day of school tomorrow. Mac, what's your advice in this heat? I guess they're going to hit the bus stop. It's already going to be hot.
Hey, that young man who knows about the dome and Ed, bring him down. I want to meet that young man. I'm going to work for him someday. Anyway, yeah, it's great that we're getting back to school. You know, it's air conditioning, you learn stuff, you see your friends. What could be better than that? Temperatures are still on the hot side. That's another reason to go to school. We're looking at, of course, today's high of 102.99 down in Port Lavaca. Triple digits continue, and we'll start counting them up in just a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. ERCOT extended its weather watch through Friday because of higher temperatures, higher demand, and the potential for lower reserves. This comes as Texans are being hit with their highest electric bills of the year. Fort Worth's Neighborhood Services received $11 million this year to help people with electric bills. That money is almost gone. They're now appealing to the Texas Department of Housing for more funding. Meanwhile, forecast highs in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex are expected to reach 105 degrees each day through the weekend.
Authorities arrested a cousin to the Uvalde school shooter. The New York Times reports 17-year-old Nathan James Cruz threatened to do the same thing to a school. His cousin, Salvador Ramos, was accused of killing 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary in May of 2022. Cruz's mother notified police after the suspect threatened to shoot his sister in the head and also shoot the school. His mother also said he tried to buy an AR-15 through an illegal private sale. Cruz is charged with making threats to a public place and a family member. He's denied making any threats.
The Texas crackdown on migrants crossing the southern border has included separating families. An attorney representing migrant families says the number of cases has grown from 26 to 40 since July 8th. Law enforcement are separating fathers from their spouses and children and arresting them for trespassing. The women and children are then turned over to U.S. immigration authorities for processing. Most of the separated families come from Venezuela and Colombia. A North Texas-based formal wear chain that was open for more than half a century suddenly closed down all of its stores. And employees say they received an email from the parent company of Al's Formal Wear confirming they were out of a job and stores would not reopen. They were told about store closing in an emergency meeting over the weekend. The parent company has not responded for comment.
The Texas Tribune has a story on family members of 9 people who died in the Harris County Jail. The federal lawsuit accuses the sheriff's office of violating the constitutional rights of inmates. They claim the sheriff's office violated constitutional rights by creating a place of torment and punishment. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click on the notification bell. Stay with us. A divided Supreme Court allowed the Biden administration to enforce regulations aimed at clamping down on so-called ghost guns.
Also ahead, police in Montgomery, Alabama issued 4 arrest warrants for suspects who attacked a dock worker at a riverfront.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Crime Stoppers is seeking information regarding a murder. On August 4th, 2010, at about 3:30 a.m., David Benitez, a 49-year-old male, was fatally stabbed. He was found at the end of the driveway at the 1200 block of East Loma Vista, bleeding heavily from multiple wounds. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. If you have any information about this murder, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Ruling barring the government from regulating ghost guns as firearms under federal law. Ghost guns are untraceable homemade firearms that can be built with online kits. Last year, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives updated its regulations to define the kits as firearms so the government could better track them. This ruling grants the Biden administration's request to let the regulations remain in effect while legal challenges play out. Authorities charged 3 men with third-degree assault for their involvement in a massive brawl on a riverside dock in Montgomery, Alabama. Video captured Saturday showed punches thrown, people hit with chairs, and at least one person tossed into the water. 2 warrants were issued for 48-year-old Richard Roberts, and 1 warrant was issued for 23-year-old Alan Todd and 25-year-old Zachary Shipman. The police chief said this afternoon that one of the men was in custody. He expects the other 2 men to be in custody shortly.
This is not indicative of our community at all, and I think people will view this as the actions of a few individuals and not characterize the entire community.
The Montgomery police chief said the brawl stemmed from a dispute over a dockside parking spot at Riverfront Park. Police are asking a man seen wielding a chair in social media videos to contact them. Authorities are looking into whether there is enough evidence to add a hate crime enhancement or an inciting riot charge. A new study in the JAMA Medical Journal shows people who drink beverages added sugar or artificial sweeteners are at higher risk for liver issues.
They compared people who have 1 or more sweetened drinks a day to those who have 3 servings or fewer per month. It turns out those with a sweet tooth have more than double the chances of chronic liver disease mortality. Their chances are about 80% higher for liver cancer. Those 2 conditions are rare, affecting well under 1% of the population.
Packing fun and exciting school lunches, I'm sure, is always the goal, but it can be difficult.
There's 10 healthy lunches ideas for children to enjoy.
School lunches aren't always easy. You want the food to be healthy. Your children want lunch to be fun. Licensed Strong for Life dietitian Catherine Sherry says what you pack is key to keeping students fueled and focused throughout the school day.
The lunches should have a fruit, a vegetable, a protein or a fat to help keep them fuller longer, and a whole grain for some carbohydrates.
Sherry recommends cold whole wheat pasta salad with some veggies and Italian dressing. Add a couple hard-boiled eggs and some fruit. Try homemade Lunchables with deli meat and cheese, or rotisserie chicken with a guacamole cup, carrots for dipping, and grapes. Maybe make your own nut butter cracker sandwiches. Add some berries and sliced veggies with cottage cheese or Greek yogurt for dipping. Pack up your Taco Tuesday ingredients and send some deconstructed tacos. Your child may have fun putting it together. Chicken salad without the sandwich. Add some whole wheat crackers, fruit, and a veggie. Do some roll-ups, deli meat wrapped around cheese. Add some hummus, celery, and pita for dipping, maybe a banana. Leftover pasta can also be a big hit. Add some fruit and their favorite veggie. Use a whole wheat tortilla to wrap up a sandwich with some meat, cheese, and lettuce, maybe some ranch dressing for dipping. Or cube some chicken, add some barbecue sauce for dipping, homemade trail mix, some carrots, and pineapple.
Just some different ways where maybe it's the same foods, but it's presented a little bit differently is also exciting for the child.
For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Read the Texas Tribune article on how the Texas AG's office became a pipeline for conservative federal judges. That's under news. Mac?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yep, another hot one. We broke we're not broken another 100-degree day, basically, and then we're going to talk more about it because it's pretty interesting the way things are going. 98 right about now. We did manage to get up to 102 this afternoon, 1 degree off the record high. But now I'm starting to count the number of 100-degree days this summer, and you'll be surprised at the count. We'll be talking more about it coming up in a moment. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and for all the kids heading back to school, hope they had a great first day or kind of figuring things out, and a new year starting for everyone. Looking at today's high temperatures, you can see again another scorcher, 102 for us, 103 down in Beeville, and 105 in Gonzales and Kennedy. So, you know, we started counting. My entire staff of meteorologists over there are calculating all of these things for you, and I want you to see this. Now, the most 100-degree days in a year, okay, not in a row, but in a year. The record is back in 2011, not that far back, which had a whopping 58 days. 42 days back in 1912, 39 days, this is the whole year, in 11, 35 in 09, and so far we've had 24 days that at 100 or higher, so we're in number 8 so far. But it's barely August, we got all of August, and you're never going to believe when our hottest day ever recorded was in September. So we have to push into September. That's, you know, a good 5-6 weeks there before we can say it's over for the season. But we're already at number 8 in the years that we've had enough 100. So, you know, we've had enough 100s already. We'd like to get rid of some of them, but that is what we're looking for as today's highs. And tomorrow's high temperature, you know, we're calling it 99. Theoretically, it could be 1 degree off, but still the heat wave continues over the area. Now, all of the excitement in terms of actual weather and precipitation, remember rain? Back in the old days, we used to have rain. Well, back in the old days is now. Last night, we talked about it. A huge line of storms from New York State all the way to Georgia came through and produced 600 different reports of severe weather damage. So everybody was looking at wind, knocking things down. This afternoon, we had this fast-moving derecho, what they call it. It's a line of storms that's now over southern portions of Georgia, and they're getting some stormy weather. You can see the yellow there. That's severe thunderstorm watches for those areas. So that's where all the excitement is, and for us, lowly us, woe is me, the dome of high pressure is still on top of us. Now, you know, I'm an optimistic guy, so I'm looking for optimism here. Next couple of days, again, it gets hot when it's on top of us. When it moves away slightly, we do get a little bit of a change. And right about there, which is on Monday of next week, you'll see that there'll be an easterly wave developing right here in the Gulf that will be riding under it and really moving into northern Mexico. But with that being said, we may have just an increased chance of a sprinkle or two around here. And I'm hoping for anything right about now. Here's the day planner for everybody in Port Lavaca, starting off at 84, getting up to 95 is a high temperature, still on the warm side. And for Cuero, starting off at 81, getting up to 101. Triple digits pretty much continue over the region or very close to it. Of course, with a stronger breeze, that helps. But in terms of overall change, not much. We start over the weekend picking up some clouds and hopefully a few scattered showers for the early part of next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's James and Karina.
All right, Mac, thank you so much. We'll take a look at your stocks coming up next. Plus, in business news, Americans' credit card debt has hit a record high.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow down 158 points, the S&P 500 losing 20 points, and the Nasdaq off 111 points. Oil up 98 cents, closing at $82.92 a barrel.
Data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York says Americans' credit card debt has surpassed $1 trillion in the second quarter for the first time ever. Inflation, higher interest rates, and the overall cost of living were factors driving credit card debt. Earlier, it was reported more people were tapping their 401k accounts due to financial distress. The number of people who made a hardship withdrawal during the second quarter surged more than 35%.
Stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast with MAC. Plus, July hit a crucial warming threshold.
Offered a glimpse of what future summers might look like. The average global temperature hit a crucial threshold. A European climate group says July's temps were 1.5 degrees Celsius warmer than the pre-industrial era. Scientists have considered that threshold as the key tipping point for the planet. If it's exceeded long term, the world could face more extreme weather than previously experienced.
You know, that's what I've been saying for a long time, but nobody's listening.
I'm listening, Mac, and I feel it.
So what they said is that, let's say 1850, when we started burning oils and gasoline to run industry. Well, I'm not saying it wasn't good. I mean, that's how we started. But 1.5 degrees above that average is where we are now. If we go to 2 degrees above that, that's the world average temperature, it's going to be worse than this. So we need to start pulling back and do something.
Yeah.
I believe that it's going to be really private citizens who finally say enough is enough, let's do something, because obviously they're not taking care of it up in Washington. Sorry.
But as for here and as for right now,
stay cool.
Stay cool
I mean,
the
that's
best
the best
we
you
can.
can do. We continue with triple digits right on through the next 7 days. Early next week, Monday, Tuesday, slight chance of a little sprinkle coming in with a little tropical wave that's actually moving into northern Mexico. But for us, best you can, stay cool. I've been watching the guys working at the mall on that new extension. And man, they're out there with the helmets and everything, and I'm going, wow, that's hard work.
Well, at least there's 3 rain chances on there, so fingers crossed. Wash your
car.
Wash your vehicles.
Always good.
Petunia?
Petunia, yes.
All right, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.